I hid it, you know, so I didn't have to worry about it disappearing because he said it had some value. And after a couple weeks after he asked me about it, and I said I didn't know where it was, you know, at that point, but I had found it.
Well, you also represented to the court that
What's that?
You also represented to the court that you didn't know where it was.
That's right. And
that's not a good thing.
I found it, like I said, somewhere in between here in the last Zoom conference. I found it, and so I brought it with me today, if that helps. I don't know.
What about the photos?
The photos, well, that's a question for Donald Oates to ask himself, because did you give me 2,500 photos, you said?
No, they disappeared from my house.
Okay.
Nobody comes to visit me.
I know for a fact, we both had some reasonable, our front doors were unlocked. I changed my lock. Did you change your lock?
No, I didn't.
So anybody can have access to Donald Oates' house. And I did not take the photographs, so I'm not sure about those. Like he just admitted, he's not sure where they went.
How did you catch that? He just admitted to lying to the court about not knowing where the coin collection was. In legal terms, that's called misrepresentation, and judges do not take that lightly. Imagine walking into court and saying, "Oops, I forgot I had thousands in coins lying around." Yeah, good luck with that. What do you think, honest mistake or calculated move? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Somebody might have taken them, it wasn't me. I do have the coin collection.
Okay. All right. What about the $3,500?
Yeah, my money's, I live on Medicaid and food stamps myself, so I had just gotten new teeth, and it was like several $1,000s, and I had to pay, I don't know, probably $3,000 or $4,000 out of my pocket. I used the extra money that I had for that.
Use what extra money? His money?
The money that he gave me, yeah. Well, we met, I don't know, a dozen, two
Hold
dozen
on a second. Hold on a second. When you say it's the money he gave you,
This was the money to secure me as a last will and testament person in case he did die.
right?
And then
And
for some
the
reason-
important word in that is in case he did,
well,
and he did not.
right.
So you need to return that.
Well, we met a couple dozen times for, I don't know, 30, 40 hours. I had people come over and clean his house. I cleaned his house. He had me clean out a bunch of stuff. No?
No, talk to me.
So I brought him food. We discussed what he would like for me to do in case he passed away. So whatever money he gave me, some of that should be probably
No,
figured out.
no. You can't. You can't do it that way.
You can't. Okay.
I mean, that's not the way that it works.
Well, I think Mr. Barr is working on how much time he spends with his client. He's charging him a certain amount, and it comes to
Well, you know what? Mr. Call.
Different. My time, I spent a lot of time with him.
Mr. Call,
Go ahead.
here's how you're different. If somebody gives you something, and in a lot of ways, what you're doing is you're holding it in trust. I mean, he doesn't effectively have an estate, but really, if something were to happen to him, you're then the person that has to basically execute his wishes.
Is that still in effect today?
Well, here's the problem.
Right.
You are really to do nothing with that property until such time as something happened. And when it didn't happen, because you're holding, that property doesn't belong to you, then you have to give it back to him.
And you don't think I should be compensated for all the times I went over there to?
You know what? I don't know if there was an agreement by the two of you that you were going to be paid anything. What I know here is that he gave you funds, he gave you a coin collection.
Mhm.
Not sure now about the photographs, fine. If we just deal with those two things, the coin collection and the funds, he gives those to you in essence in anticipation that he's going to die. And he says, do X with this.
Right.
And he doesn't die. But you're holding it, as I said, just in trust. You are.
Here's where the gavel really starts to drop. The judge is laying down the basics of trust law. If someone gives you property in case they die, and then they don't die, guess what? You don't get to keep it. This isn't a tip jar at a coffee shop. This is legally bound responsibility. The fact that the defendant used the money before the guy even passed away, that's a big red flag waving at the courtroom. Ever heard of conversion? It's the legal version of taking something that's not yours and using it like it is. The judge is clearly building up to something here.
Really to do nothing with that property until such time as basically what would be the condition precedent happens. And it doesn't happen.
Well, as time went by, Don Oates discussed with me, he, come over, I'll pay you a certain amount. He paid other people that I set up to come over there and help clean his house.
Mr. Call. Mr. Call.
You don't think I should be compensated? I disagree with you, but you're the judge, so.
It's not a question. I don't have that before me. But any compensation for you. That's not what's before me. Either raised by you and certainly not raised by the plaintiff. And, Mr. Call, let me just put it this way. I realize the two of you are or were friends. But, maybe, compensation for what you do as a friend should happen. I don't know. But I think it says something that you came to this court after he sued you. And you intentionally misrepresented a particular fact to this court. A big one.
Which is what?
About the coin collection.
I didn't know where I put it.
That's not, hold on. Did you read what you wrote to the court?
No.
Because I read everything. What do you think you wrote to the court?
It was seen as a gift, the money in the coin collection that he gave me. That's what I was told.
You did not, hold on a second, but you did not say anything about losing it. You said, I don't know where the photos of coin collection are.
That's right.
And all of a sudden you just found them.
That's right.
Get the coin collection in here. Where is it?
It's in the car.
Go get it. Coins. And I guess there was a black binder and a white binder I now see over there. Are those the coins?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Oates has recognized these coins. This is part of the collection. Missing was some loose coins valued at about $4,000.
That was the photos, Your Honor. I took them, and now we're having a discrepancy. I brought the coin collection in once I found it, and now he sent me death threat letters on addition from multiple addresses. I forgot to bring that up, but.
I mean, quite frankly, Mr. Call, I'm not here on a lot of what may be complaints you have.
Okay.
The problem that I have right now is there's about $4,000 they're claiming in coins that are missing.
Hearsay or whatever. That's his opinion. Okay. And now I'm lying again?
I don't know what you are,
Okay.
but you're going to let me finish before you go on. Because I'm going to explain to you how it works in this courtroom.
Okay.
I've let you interrupt me a couple of times. I don't want to have it happen again, or you're going to end up going with him.
Okay.
Am I real clear?
Yes.
Their claim is that there are some coins missing, and there's the $3,500. Okay? Now, I'll tell you